know what's coming up, the New Year's coming up, and that means it's time for New Year's resolutions. Everybody loves New Year's resolutions, right? Right, guys? We set New Year's resolutions. It's what we do every year. It's like a rite of passage. Very rarely does it make us feel empowered. Sometimes it does. And people get really, really clear on what they want in the new year. It's like the end of the year is a great time for reflection and introspection. And I love that. I think it's a great exercise to do. And people, map out exactly what it is they want in the next year. They want to lose weight. They want to eat better. They want to have better connections and better relationships. They want to start a business. They want to grow a business. They want to do all these things in their lives. But for some reason, New Year's resolutions rarely stick. Why do you think that is? Okay, so in my experience, there are two reasons why New Year's resolutions typically don't stick, and they're easy things. So I think once you really get this and you apply this into your New Year's resolution list making or however you make your New Year's resolutions, they're gonna be a lot more powerful. So number one is this: it's not your kid. So what do I mean by this? It's not your kid. Well, say you go to a Little League baseball game, whether you have kids or it's like a niece or a nephew or something, and your little niece or nephew's up to bat and you're just waiting and the ball comes in and they swing and they hit it and you get so excited. Why? Why? Because it's your kid, it's your niece, it's your nephew. There's a connection to it. You don't feel that same connection when somebody else's niece or nephew or somebody else's kid is up there and they hit the ball. You're like, yeah, okay, that's really nice. But you don't really have a connection to it. And you see this all the time. I see this with my clients. I see this with people when I read, blog posts and everything of companies that have saying, okay, Richard Branson, Virgin America, they do this in their company, so I'm gonna try it in my company. And it doesn't work. Why? Why? They're copying the what, but they don't have a real connection to it. They don't see a real reason. They don't see a why they're doing it. And so this is all about really focusing not just on the doing, right? Not just on the activity, the action you're taking, but who you're being when this happens, right? Who you're being in the midst of this. So when I say it's not your kid, what I'm saying is make your New Year's resolution. Say you want to lose weight. Say you want to build better connections. Say you want to grow or start a business, but get really clear on your why. What is it going to afford you in your life if you've lost weight, if you have better connections with your family and your friends, if you've started a business, if you've grown a business? Why is that important to you? Don't take on these New Year's resolutions because they're somebody else's. Don't have goals and dreams and aspirations because somebody says those should be yours. Don't buy into their dreams and their goals. Take them to be your own. Now, it may be that the thing that you take, the thing that you decide to do in your life, and the thing that you decide to have on your New Year's resolution list is something that's exactly the same as somebody else, but feel your real connection. Discover your why. Find out at a deep core level why this is important to you. How does your life change if you've attained this? And if you have that why, it's going to be so much more powerful than just having the what. And reason number two that your New Year's resolutions don't seem to stick is because you have yet to realize that you have multiple personality disorder. Okay, not really. I'm not clinically trying to diagnose you, but what I'm trying to say here is that you don't have a permanent personality, right? There's nothing permanent and pervasive about the way we are in the world. And yet sometimes when we make these New Year's resolutions, they don't stick because something happens. There's a challenge, there's something, an obstacle that pops up in our way, and we stop, right? We say we're gonna work out every day, and that's our New Year's resolution. And maybe now we even have a why. We say, oh, well, if I work out and I got more healthy, then it means I'm gonna be here to play ball with my kids when they get older. It means I'm gonna be able to walk my daughter down the aisle, or I'm gonna be there for my nephew's graduation, or whatever it is. There's some deep why. But the next thing missing is that you don't realize you have multiple personalities. The person you're showing up as in the world right now, the person who maybe doesn't feel motivated or feels kind of lazy or says, oh, I can't do that, that's not a permanent personality. That's one facet of your personality. So the question I want you to ask yourself is, who do you need to be to make these things happen? Who do you need to be? Right? And I have a list like this for myself in my own business. Who do I need to be successful as a speaker, as a coach, as a trainer, as an author? And on that list has nothing to do with my actual activities. It has nothing to do with my doing. It doesn't have a number of words I'm going to write per day. It doesn't have a number of people I'm going to coach. It doesn't have a number of speaking engagements I'm going to have throughout the year. It's about who I am being to make all those things happen. So yes, have that list, but then go to that list and say, okay, who do I need to be to work out every single day? Or who do I need to be to get healthier this year? And maybe who you need to be is somebody who is relaxed. Maybe you need to be somebody who's consistent, who's sincerely devoted, who's focused, who's maybe not so serious. These are things from my own list, right? Things that I know that I need to do, people that I need to be in order to really fulfill the things that I say I want to do this year. So those are the two things that I want you to really focus on. Number one, recognize if it's not your kid, if you don't have ownership, if you don't have a vision, if you don't have a why behind the thing you've written down that you want to accomplish this year, chances are you're going to give up because you don't have a real connection to it. And number two is figuring out who you need to be. Right? Who do you need to be to make all these things happen? So here's what I want you to do. I'm going to challenge all of you to do this. Make your New Year's resolutions. Write out every single thing that you want to accomplish this year, but then I want you to take it a step further. I want you to leave some space underneath everything you write there that you want to accomplish, and I want you to write these two things. Number one, What is it that I really want to do here and why? Why is this thing that I've written that I want to do the important thing that I want to do? What's my connection to it? What's my why? What's the big neon sign that's going to keep me going when I'm hitting challenges and obstacles along the way? And then number two, I want you to write below that, who do I need to be to accomplish that? You want to start a new business? Who do you need to be? Do you need to be focused? Do you need to be diligent? Do you need to be gentle on yourself? Do you need to take time to relax and disconnect? Whatever it is that you need to do to be the kind of person that can fulfill all these New Year's resolutions, that is what I want you to do. So now what I want you to do is one more thing. If this has been impactful for you and you know somebody else that you know is going to be setting New Year's resolutions and you want them to help, share it with them. Be like me. I'm going to go share it with people that I love now. Peace out. Happy New Year. I'm sharing with the world. I'm sharing with the world.